Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. No. I suppose if you haven't met Captain Cork, I am Captain Cork. I'm a space-time traveler, and I have traveled today, to what they call Friday. And Friday is a position in time, you see. Now, let's get down to the point of what I want to make here. The Celtic cross is something that needs to be more well known to persons, to people who are traveling themselves as souls aboard a vessel, because every one of you are space-time travelers. You're traveling in this ocean, this wonderful ocean of space and time. And the waves that you're upon, you see, sometimes creates uncertainty in your subconsciousness, and you might feel a little bit off. You might get shaken up. You might even get seasick. But you see, bliss, as you might know it, or that comfort of the heart, is knowing for certain where you're going and that you're going to be okay. Okay, let's get into the Celtic cross here. And let me zoom in a little bit so that you can see, because, can I zoom in? There you go. Now, little while back, we're going to read now. You see, I can't emphasize more. Now, you'll have to mind me. You'll have to pardon me buddy behind me. He's licking himself. It's a little bit, it might throw you off a little bit. Bruno, stop that. Stop that. My God, he's a beast. Now, the Celtic cross is an instrument of navigation. I want to be clear on this. The Celtic, by the sonos, by the value of the sonos, is 312. Now that is the salt of the earth. That is the heart. The heart is the sonos value, the gematria, the cross value, 312. It is where we are thought to create. We come upon this stage, and we're space-time travelers. We're navigating upon this ocean of water, or this soul. And we're following the sun. Now, the sun is using a navigation instrument called the Celtic cross. Do you see the dial around this cross? It's a dial of 360 degrees. Okay? And the dial moves as one might. You can radiate the dial around. But here's a hermetic principle of being. You cannot have being or movement unless one thing moves contrary to its station. Do you understand that? Understanding is the key. The key is the cross. Also, the lock is the cross. Now you got to understand this to be certain and to have bliss. If you want bliss, you have to be positioned at the center, and you have to have perspective that goes around with certainty. You know where you're going. You know where your destination's going to be. Now here, let me point out some important things that the Savior said, or Jesus, or the cross. He said, I am the way. Or he said, I am the Alpha and the Omega. What does this mean? This means he is a Celtic cross. He is the way, he is the instrument. And if you use him, if you follow him, now I'm speaking in Platonic terms here. You see, I'm speaking. I'm trying to get through to you in on many levels. I'm trying to combine the pages so that understanding can come through, and you can get what Greg is upon and what Greg is following. See, in my mantras, the mantras that I'm following is following a Celtic cross. And so it's with certainty. And you see, if you haven't gleaned the information, that you see, once the memory is programmed, it's kind of like a dog. Before a dog knew his name, you'd say, Bruno. No, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. He's going to come wagging his tail. He'll knock everything over. He's a brute. But you see, before he knew his name, I could call his name all day long. There's no dog coming. There's no dog going to follow me. There's no dog going to come to his master. He's not associated in anything. But you see, you can think of the subconsciousness like a dog. When the subconsciousness understands the navigational principles and can follow the cross with you. And see, you're following the cross. You're leading that which will follow you all day long and be very loyal to you if you become that master. I'm trying to lay down some principles here, and I'm trying to do it by using funny voice. But see, Captain Cork is a very important character. He is a space-time character. Captain Cork is no more than a persona, a mask that has a being through sound. Person through sound. Persona. Sona is sound. So we got to get with the degrees of the space-time traveler that you are. You're a soul aboard upon a ship, on a vessel. You're traveling. And so upon the week, see, the week is a wave upon the ocean. When you're able to travel upon the degrees, following the cross, just like the sun does, you're going to go with certainty. And when you go with certainty, you develop bliss, because the soul understands. The soul, forgive me. The soul has its own language. The soul does know where it's going. The soul is following the script of the Father. Don't kid yourself. But you see, the consciousness and the subconsciousness can become a little bit out of tune with each other. In order for them to connect, there has to be a resonant line. And in order to put the resonance into action, see, everything works upon resonance. If alpha has to resonate with the omega, or the omega with the alpha, that means the string between the two becomes to be straight. So the path has to be straight and tensioned according to the tuning of the sonos, or of the sun, or of the sound. You see, I'm going back and I'm trying to cross the dots and join the angles. Now, you can go to the Sonos Gematria calculator and there's little buzzwords that Captain Cork is using. Right? I am. Angles, dots. Connect the dots, connect the angles. What would you have if you could connect the dots and the angles inside a circle? If you understood the degrees of your days and you knew where you're going as a soul journeying in space and time, from alpha to omega, just as the sun does. I am the alpha and the omega. I am the way. I am an instrument. I am an instrument of certainty. I am the good, certain, and true. You see, there's only one truth. That's a geometrical truth. It's upright. It's upright and square. It's 90 degrees, you see. So, long before Christianity, there was Plato. And you see, Plato understood that forms and shapes have agency. There is an intelligence behind the person, and it's information. You see, through my mouth, through this thing right here, you're hearing a person. You're hearing a sound. And I'm trying to rationalize from the center of my being out to you, out to the scatter of the mind. See, we're trying to bring the mind in and anchor it into the center, find the degrees of sound. Now, you see, not many people will understand. We would measure many things using this Celtic cross here. Now, this is not proof. Your own logic should be your proof, you see, folks. Somebody once said to me, well, what did he say? He said, you're just a liar. Where's your proof? My good God, man. Your own logic should be your proof. Your own ability to add using that cross, if you can add it up, if you can connect the dots, put it together, then you can have certainty about a subject. Now, let's have a look. Now, this fella here woke up one morning with the sun in his eyes, and he made an astounding discovery. And if you read it, you would see, look, he's proposing that it one time during this great cataclysmic event, only the Maritimers were saved. And they were saved by their navigational instrument. That was their Celtic cross. See? And now, they could tell time, they could calculate where they were going, their global positioning. They had, this is extremely eye-opening. You see, this fella proposed that the original prime meridian was at Giza in Egypt, and all local times were calculated from the pyramids. And it could very well be true, right? But now, as a navigational instrument, look at this. Now, you could use the Celtic cross. This instrument could tell time, find latitude and longitude, measure the angles, yes, of the stars, you see, predict the solstices and the equinoxes, and measure the precession of the equinoxes. The instrument could also find the ecliptic pole as well as the north and the south poles. It could make maps and charts and design pyramids, hinges, and all that good stuff. Now, I don't have to go on and on about this, but what we are getting back to is back to our roots, back to this place. Oh, I've done it now. Back to this place of certainty. Okay? Back to the place of certainty. Now, you'll have to pardon me. Sonus Gematria. Where are you at? Where are you at there now? Bring it up. Back. We're back. All right. Now, I want you to look at the mantras as a form. As a form of a Celtic cross, a form of an instrument, a form of how to program the subconscious memory into a direction. You see, today is Friday, all right? Now, it's very hard to keep people's attention and to bring understanding. And I have an easy day today. I have a lot to do today, but my only one frustration would to reach my brothers and sisters. To make you understand the harmonic chain, the wave of time and space, to make you see that the powers of the ocean that you are riding upon is named, and that the subconsciousness can attain peace and bliss through a program of establishing memory and certainty upon this wave. So if you engage in these, okay, so a Tuesday, let's take Tuesday for example. Okay, now I'm going to draw out a square, and you're going to see, okay, I'm using my finger. Watch this now. I'm going to draw a square, okay? All right. Now Tuesday is marked, is drawn out by the names, and it's older than time itself, because time assembled itself as a calendar through these powers. And this has a lot to do with our morphic field that holds our heritage. When I say morphic field, it's a morphic field of mind. It's a field of resonance. So go look up Rupert Sheldrake. He's one of these heretic scientists. He's right. And look up Michael Levin. He is a biologist that talks about platonic spaces and forms, and he is proving that biology is the basic designer is about platonic spaces and forms. Okay? So your world has a foundational intelligence that comes from basic forms. So on today, the basic form in the morning, this is my mantra. Okay? All right. This is my course. You see, I set my course and I show my subconscious dog, right? That's learning his name. And he's so happy. He's wagging his tail. And he loves it. Okay? Now that was Tuesday. Now on Friday, you see, it's 4 days later, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now I go to Friday. Watch. Nothing has changed because it's the same morphic field. Except that the generational powers have switched. Okay? So you have to understand that Friday is ruled by Venus. Tuesday is ruled by Mars. Okay? They have this polar opposite relationship. The Sonos or the persona of Mars is 306. The persona or Sonos of Venus is 486. Now, if you put that upon the Celtic cross, okay, undo, clear all. Okay, can I make it? See, look, 486, undo. 486 is Venus, which is 6 degrees Leo. Now, I'm using the 360 degree dial of the chart that is synonymous with measuring, with going, with coming. If you're going to drive somewhere today, you're going to use GPS. It's going to calculate using this same system. Okay? It's going to triangulate. It's going to calculate your positioning in your time-space vehicle according to mathematical geometrical coordinates. And that is found by frequency. So you're going to be located through a telemetry of frequency. It's triangulated. There's going to be a form behind your position wherever you're found. Your subconsciousness is the same. It finds you are found. When you become to be found and positioned, you have bliss. So you have to understand this. So when you're doing these mantras, you become to find bliss because bliss finds you. You are located as a soul. This has to do with conscious, subconscious resonance. Someday you feel a little off. What does that mean? That means you're off coordinate. You're off your time-space chart of your Celtic cross. So there is something here that my challenge daily is to get it through, get the sound through, get the person through onto your ship. Make you understand the technology that your ancient ancestors used. And this is where certainty comes from. Bliss is in certainty. If you've ever felt, uncertain about, whether you can pay the bills, and you got a lot of stress, but then money comes in, and you're like, oh, that's bliss. Oh, I have comfort now. Look, baby has bliss when it's in its mother's arms. When it puts its lips on the nipple of the breast and becomes to be engaged and attuned to the mother. Baby has bliss, has comfort, security. That's bliss. When you're feeling connected, when you put the alpha and the omega together, when you put the form together, when you connect the dots, when you connect the angles, you become to be resolved, you become to be complete. Right? You see, until you are complete, there is nothing but a complete compete. So when you're complete, that means that 2 points are resonating. They have connected. They have connected through telemetry, through telemetric response, which is resonance. This is no different than how an instrument is tuned. So, I am, because of what I taste myself, it's just natural that I want to share it. Now I received a little message. I don't get many comments. What are you going to say? What are you going to say to this man? I can't hold the attention of people out there today. What am I going to do? Set myself on fire? Do a dance? Like what can I do to hold attention of people out there today? You need too much stimulation. You can't just sit there and listen to deep information, to authentic, real, direct soul information that is actually, this is technology of the simplest forms of attunement. It's like, yeah, for me, it is the most basic logic. It's where bliss comes from. To connect the dots, to resolve, to put yourself in the center. You see, when I do these sounds, when I chant these sounds, I'm calling my dog to the center. Why am I saying dog? Because it's an inverse of God, of the generating operating dial. Okay? All right? What is God? God is a generating operating dial. It's a living monad that is dialing, is dilating. It's like breath. You know, your eye dilates, your breath dilates, your life dilates, the God dilates, the sky dilates. Everything is in dialing, and everything is dialing for a purpose of connecting. When the days are connected in say, the dielectric storing charge discharge of the basic principles of energy and power, there is only charge and discharge. But when the charge and discharge goes off on certainty relays, you become to have bliss. Because you're living upon a circuit that you're engaged with, you're informed with. This is swimming in the pool of the Father. So in this dream where I got this key, he said, You can swim in my pool anytime you want. That means by the free will, I can engage with the givenness. What is the givenness? This for me is givenness. There is no other way. There is no other way but to follow the Celtic cross. That is, the Celtic is the heart. What do you mean by that, Greg? What do you mean by that? I don't understand. The Sonos gematria value of heart is the same as Celtic earth create stage. This is called arch resonance. You see, words are just not arbitrary. Words have total tonal integrations that they come with. The little words are packets of energy that contain a form. You have to understand, the mind as we know it has a basic foundation of Platonic spaces. It's all about information. If you look at the square in the circle, it is positioned about a stationary cross in the center. That stationary cross is the kingdom within the heart. That cross, see the circle about the cross, that is the Celtic dial. The Celtic cross is within your heart, is upon your heart. That's how you travel as a soul traveler. What is the soul? What is the sun? The sun travels upon a Celtic cross. How do you know that, Greg? Well, I know that because the vernal equinox, that time just passed. Now the sun is traveling. Next year, it's going to come to the same point. How? Why? It's about a Celtic cross. It's a celestial navigational instrument. In the above, we take it below, we take it within. It is a resonant principle of above and below, within and throughout. It has general rule over everything. Right? Like the cross said, I am the way. I am the Alpha, I am the Omega. You see, you have to go underneath the narratives and the stories. If you get locked into the stories, your mind cannot get out of the power modulations of the stories and the names. You get trapped into that narrative. You're trapped. But if your mind can get out of the box, if you can open the box into its birthright cross, you can have a second birth. That's a second birth of how you see this world. See, I don't see this world like anybody else. But I want to see the world, as common thought, because I think that common sense can be common thought, can be common knowledge, can be commonly understood, and to share certainty in the common sense knowledge of geometry, frequency, word, and things that connect and actually add up in this world is a wonderful, blissful thing. Uncertainty fucking sucks. Right? Okay. Certainty can come from the subconsciousness because the subconsciousness knows. It's an inherent connection of and with the primordial substrates and the directions of the soul. They're geometric. They're formal. It is perfect information. If you connect with that, it's a knowing. It's an on board, within the heart givenness. Givenness is a state and quality of being that cannot be argued with. It's a position in time space that is bliss. So the Celtic cross is very important. It's very important to understand that basic technology as a mariner, which you are. Okay? Now, young lady, I'm going to tell you this much. You say, you believe this is for the future generations. Yes, but it's for you. It's for you to wake up in this life. Don't die without knowing this. Don't do that to yourself. Like, wake the fuck up now. Like, let this seep into you, right? Let it seep into your hull or your skull. The hull of your ship or the skull of your ship. Let the water seep in. Let it seep in. Understand that you are as within as above. So the sound or the kingdom, see, kingdom has the same value. Sound, kingdom, number. I could just go on and on to connect the dots, to make coherence, to make form become good information. You see, there are people out there, and millions of people, that are afraid of forms. They're afraid of shapes. They see a pentagram, they see a hexagon, they're like, ah. Guys, this is terrible prison to be in. This is like, what? But this has to do with story narrative programming. It's not their fault. It has to do with how the subconsciousness works. If the subconsciousness is tuned through persistence and consistency, right, of seeing something in a format that's on a time-space chain, you become to be programmed. So this work is about programming through sonos, through mantra, through yantra, every morning, every evening, on a circuit. Naming your dog, naming your dialing operating generator, or go the other way, generating operating dial. This is a subconscious conscious relationship. You got to take your dog for a walk every day. Otherwise, he gets a little bit crazy. So this may be, well, for me, it is. It's the most important technology for this life to know, for this life to understand. There is nothing else that's more important than this. Why? Because when I die, and get this is going to be the most important thing I'm going to say in this little podcast. When I die, I'm going to request that a Celtic cross is put on my grave. Why? Because a soul traveler, when I leave this body, I'm going to travel with and by, and I am going to the place of certainty with an instrument. With the Father's cross. What's the Father's cross? Now you're sounding religious? No, it's not. That's not religious. That's Platonic. That's Platonistic. Religion has stolen the Platonistic principles, forms of information, and they have changed it they've polluted it, tarnished it, made a profanity of purity. A thing that was profound is now profane through religion. These forms are degrees of travel for the soul. That is, if you want to say, the light that is trapped in and on this vessel for time. Then when you leave this body, you're going to travel again. You're going to take your mind. You're going to take your forms. You're going to take your information that you've been programmed with on this earth, in this heart. So when you leave this body, in order to be free, in order to get out, you need the key to unlock the lock. That's a Celtic cross. That's why you see a Celtic cross on those very, very old graves, because that is a soul that is unlocked and used the key to travel and to navigate the heavens. Do you understand what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is an ancient technology. Your Savior is your navigational instrument, that is a Celtic cross. And that is an organic thing. That is a living thing. It is a living, essential thing for a soul that is a space-time traveler. There is so much to do. Every day, you must orientate yourself using this Celtic cross. That's what this is all about. Don't wait. Don't let it go. Don't say, yeah, I got my own thing. And I'm gonna let this be understood by the children. No, do yourself, do your soul, do the light that's trapped within you a very, very big favor. Don't die until you understand this technology. This is the technology that you must have when you close your eyes and leave this ship. Okay? How can I be more vulnerable? How can I look more crazy? Should I set myself on fire? Should I put dynamite in my pockets and light firecrackers from my nostrils to capture your attention? Can I reach the intelligence in the box to cause you to open the box, cause you to open the power of the soul like a nuclear reactor? Or does your name really confine and imprison your soul? My soul is uncontainable. This world cannot contain my soul. It cannot be done. You can't do it with fake money. You can't do it with fake threats. I don't give a flying fuck what anybody says or does to me. My soul is absolutely free. And the only frustration that I may ever have is trying to relay this information to my brothers and sisters. As sound, logical, common sense forms of information. Take the information, bring it out. Anyway, I'm traveling today. I'm going through the mountains, and I'm bringing my Celtic cross with me. That's in my heart. That is where my soul intuition is guided by. It is guided by that fixed and stable cross that is upon my heart. And I move contrary to its fixed 0 degrees. I know my degrees. I know where I'm going. I'm talking on a soul level. I'm talking on a spiritual, structural level. I'm less spiritual, more structural. I'm more about, say, that this idea that you can't substantiate is bullshit for me. I see harmonics throughout nature, throughout the mind of everything. Everything is connected, absolutely. And so I'm going to go, thank you very much. Thank you. Bye for now, and have a great day. And don't let this go. Pay attention. Do it for yourself. This is very simple, guys. Very simple stuff. It's dead simple. Okay, bye for now.